You are listening to Salam Media live from our headquarters in South Africa. This is Salam Media, keeping you company this Ramadan.
Assalamu alaikum. A warm welcome to all our valued Salam Media listeners today. Joining us here for our Eid special and definitely our bumper special coming up. We have an exciting array of things for you today. Starting off with a buzz of everything. I think Sister Mariam is with me in studio today. We're doing a joint deal here, and I think I'm so excited that you're with me today. Thank you so much for joining me in this show so that we can bring out the best of everything and everyone as well.
Assalamu alaikum, my team. Nafeesa, I'm so excited to be here and feeling very Eid and feeling very festive, mashallah. And hats off to everybody who pulled this Eid with on a budget, but certainly it looks top quality, top notch.
Most definitely, and I mean, this is what we're trying to do to all our viewers, entice them to actually get out of that chat, enjoy the day of Eid, although it's for the immediate family, we can definitely try and make the best of what we have.
100%, of course. I'm that one or that ethos, like if life gives you lemons, make the lemonade. So we're watching the lemonade now.
I do agree with you because this is my monologue for today, and my monologue is the best kind of people are the ones that come into your life and make you see the sun where you once saw clouds. The people that believe in you so much, you start to actually believe in you too. The people that love you simply for being you, the once in a lifetime kind of people. And that was written by Steve Melbourne, and I think it's quite apt for today.
And that's why you're all yellow here, to just reinforce that idea of the sun. So Nafeesa, you are the sunshine of my life.
Oh, thank you so much. Likewise, you're looking very beautiful. We're definitely getting that festive, eating look with us here. Try to entice our listeners and our viewers as well, just to get into that festive mood, get them out of that rut. And no, during this lockdown, it's been so difficult. Everybody's going through this difficult period. But I think we need to turn this into a positive vibe and make everybody feel happy and lift those spirits up. What do you think?
Of course, it's Eid, and Eid is about celebration. Eid is about connection, and Eid is about just connecting with family. So even we may be physically apart, but our hearts are always connected and our spirits are always united.
And you're talking about hearts and spirits, and I think it's also all about mindset, changing that mindset for today. So we have Sister RUKSHANA. You can introduce her for us. She's definitely going to be helping us with that issue that we're coming across, especially during this lockdown.
And Sister RUKSHANA has been amazing throughout Ramadan. My favorite pick-me-up segment was all her segments with, various advice, tips to just stay happy and that. So I'm looking forward to what she has lined up for us on this Eid special edition of Naseeha and Motivation with yourself, Nafeesa and Mariam Zia in the house today in the studio. So let's welcome Sister RUKSHANA. Assalamu alaikum, Sister RUKSHANA.
Okay, Sister RUKSHANA is going to be joining us. Okay, and as we were talking about Eid, I think it's all about giving, and this is what I think today's bumper is all about everything that we did the entire month. With enticing people to change their mindsets and this entire situation that everybody's going through during this lockdown. And of course, finding their spirituality, because it had given that time during the lockdown period with a lot of people being at home to actually just change the perspective for a better one. Spending that extra time and reconnecting with their families where they never get to do that on a normal day. I think it was a time to also retrospect, reflect, on their lives and where they want to head to from now. So I think it's grounded us in some way.
Absolutely, absolutely. And also we have the spiritual connection. I know, speaking for myself, I've had a very spiritual month of Ramadan, been able to really connect. And like you say, it was a month of reflection. And also a month to count our blessings and make shukr as well.
Most definitely. And I think Sister RUKSHANA is on the line. There we go.
Assalamu alaikum, Sister RUKSHANA. Sister RUKSHANA.
How are you both today?
Wa alaikum salam and Juma Mubarak to you, Sister RUKSHANA. And today you have both of us in the studio.
Yes, I'm so excited to know that we have both of you. Double gifts on a Juma day. That's amazing.
Subhanallah, and what gift do you have to impart to us today?
Our talk for today is going to be about the benefits of giving back.
and very, very appropriate for this, especially with Eid coming back, because Eid is a day of giving. Essentially, it's a day of giving. So please, just can you further enlighten us on the benefits of giving?
So, you know, we've done our 30 days of reflection, of positive mindset, on how to get out of those days when you're feeling down, on how is it to love yourself. We've done so much of self-reflection, guidance on how to better yourself, better how you deal with your family, with people, how to eradicate negativity out of your life. I think the most now vital, important one that we close off with is, why is it important to do give back? Why is it important to make sure that you contributor? And for me, the thing that I love, I mean, there's no better feeling in this world than the give back. Give back to your community, give back to the students that I do empowerment courses with, give back to communities that I don't have. Every kind of sadaqah is accepted in any form. So a lot of people say, but I don't have money. Yes, it's okay. You don't need money to give back in any form. As a child, I think it's very important that the give back is, how can I family? If it's by just keeping my room tidy, if it's by being grateful and just saying jazakallah for the wonderful food you cooked for me, mom, or it's about saying thank you so much for taking us to the shopping center, dad. Sometimes the gratefulness that those children show you, the give back, the kindness, the love and the care, let me just massage my dad's feet for tonight, or let me give my mom a foot massage, that kind of give back starts inculcating a value system within your family to say that it is so wonderful to be a contributor, to give back in life. So for me, I think I love that. And since I was little, it was always like, what can we do to make my parents happy? And as we got bigger, it's like, how could we contribute to more and more people? And I mean, right now in our communities, there's so much of need. You might think that you don't have money, but you might be sitting with the skill that you can impart onto others, the people that are not yet knowledgeable. So there's so many organizations looking for volunteers with knowledge. So yes, give that back to your community. There's so many people right now learning how to farm and do home farming to sustain their food. Go and show somebody if you know how to be a horticulturist. Show them how to plant, or show them how to plant and for resell. The same with your children. Show them how important it is to volunteer to old age homes, to volunteer to orphanages, where they go and they see how important it is to share of their love, share of their kindness, share of their care, and their good deeds that they're doing. The feeling of give back is so amazing. It widens your network within your community. It teaches you better sense of values. It also unlocks the potential. You finally realize that this is who I am. So I
Sister
think
Rukhsana.
our give back right now is awesome. It's something that is much needed in our communities, either as a volunteer, either as a trainer, either as somebody that's empowering and just inspiring people. You know, the act of giving is very contagious. It spreads positivity, it spreads light, it spreads love from one person right on to the next. So for me, giving is very therapeutic. I think more to the giver. And you know, sometimes I just need you to understand that being a taker is not a very nice thing. And some people, you'll identify the takers that, oh, can you please bake for me? Oh, please, can you do this for me? Please, can you do that for me? Somebody that delegates all their work to you without giving something back to you. So start identifying those people that are just takers from you, that don't have something to give back to you, because those are not nice people. They're just taking advantage of you. It's important for you, your energy, when you're doing something, to be kind and loving to somebody else. Don't let anybody else take advantage of you in that time. When you do acts of random kindness and generosity and give back, do it with humbleness, do it with love, do it with care, knowing that the person that's on the receiving end is so appreciative of what you're doing, that there doesn't need to be pride, there doesn't need to be haughtiness. And I think, you know, being our last show today, for me, I'm truly humbled by the gesture that you and Nafeesa and Maulima, Mariam did, even Salam Media. For me, it's such an amazing gesture of kindness and love and give back to the community on large, to help them through this time of our COVID-19 lockdown, through the time of their fear, for them understanding how to love their families better. So for me, Jazakallah so much for this initiative and for making me a part of this initiative of yours. I'm truly grateful. I've had a most amazing time with you ladies. I've learned so much myself on this journey again. And I look forward to getting better in time myself in fixing parts of me that I haven't even thought of looking at within myself. So yes, Jazakallah for the amazing journey that I've had with you ladies and with Salam Media, with your listeners. They have been awesome. The messages I've got, the love, the care, the thanks that I got, it was so much. It's food for my soul. So Jazakallah, yes, give back is an amazing feeling.
Sister Rukshana, are you thanking us? We need all thanks needs to go to you for giving us your time every day, 5 days a week, promptly at 2:05. You are there to impart pearls of wisdom, to inspire us with your positivity. Every day you had a positive message and you made us reflect on a different aspect of our lives. I think in this 30 days, through your motivation, your guidance, your words you imparted on us, it helped us become a better version of who we are. I mean, listening to you, I make every day, I sit here, make notes, and it's so complete. At the moment you were speaking about giving, but then you also mentioned about being a taker, and it sprung to my mind, yes, I also need to be cognizant not to just be a taker while you're giving. And also when you said when you're doing a random act of kindness, always do it with humility, be humble, because although somebody might be under-resourced, it doesn't mean they're not dignified. They're not a dignified human being, and that quality of humility is so important. So I think on behalf of myself and Nafeesa, maybe you can just add something and just to acknowledge Sister Rukshana. For me, it's really been, this has been counseling and coaching and that, and you've given it to us. You've given back to us at no cost.
I would agree with the selflessness that I would like to thank you and commend you for it, because the thing is, what you've done for us, I think, was something that we were looking to impart to all our listeners, because we all understood the situations that they were in. And this is what Salam Media is about. It's all about giving back to people and trying to uplift them and empower them. And your selflessness, like Sister Mariam said, every single day coming on air. And I don't know about you, but I also used to sit avidly waiting for the segment to be uplifted myself, because I think sometimes we don't realize we're in the situations ourselves and we need to actually learn from the segment. So I think the segment has benefited not just the listeners but us as well, and we'd like to commend you in many directions, and we really appreciate it from the entire team for what you have done for us. So Jazakallah so much, and we wish you nothing but a blessed and wonderful Eid with your family.
Jazakallah so much, you awesome, gorgeous, stunning, amazing ladies. May Allah reward you for your generous love and care towards me. May all our listeners be safe. May they understand that life is their choice. Everything that we do, our joy, our happiness lies within ourselves. So take care. Eid Mubarak to one and all. And may you be an amazing person through every deed that you offer unto others and also to yourself as well. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Definitely an inspirational segment. I think it's taught us a lot through the entire, I think, get through many things that they were going through. The messages that were getting were phenomenal. People were actually reaching out to Sister Rukshana and asking for that help, but also through the segments were getting the advice before having to even ask for it. So I think it was a phenomenal segment.
Absolutely. And I think now we have to go to the marketplace. There's some bills to be paid. And then afterwards, we have Sister Mashuda Taylor coming up. And in keeping with our theme of the essence of Eid, healthy eating during Ramadan. For Eid. Well, it was during Ramadan. And now you don't want us to indulge.
No,
you want to keep it.
We want to keep it prophetic. We did the entire month, so we feel it should go prophetic. But before we go, this segment was brought to you by Olive Venture Capital Company, a fully accredited S12J investment company funded on the principles of ethical investing. Performance of our carefully screened investment assets combined with a 100% tax deduction is forecast to deliver an average after-tax return of 17% per annum over the 5-year term. Yes, 17% per annum. SMS your name to 082-413-5248 and we will call you back. Olive Venture Capital Company is an authorized financial service provider. And we're going to go for a quick break. We'll be back with you in a bit.
Okay, going good. We okay for time.
You are listening to Salam Media live from our headquarters in South Africa. This is Salam Media, keeping you company this Ramadan.
This Ramadan, Africa Muslims Agency will be providing 12 million meals to those in need across the globe. Help us reach this goal. Sponsor a food hamper at 1,000 Rand per family, an iftar suhoor meal box at 80 Rand, or feed an entire village or refugee camp for a day at 12,000 Rand. Your participation is required. Call Africa Muslims Agency on 011 834 8685 or donate online at africamuslimsagency.co.za. Africa Muslims Agency, inspiring the spirit of
Dad, well, I've been chatting with an investment broker today and...
Broker? Did the broker tell you that our economy is a mess? There's bushfires in Australia, America wanted World War III, and now the coronavirus is traveling around the world.
Well, I also thought about purchasing some crypto.
Crypto? What's that, like another pyramid scheme? I don't trust what I can't see.
There's an apartment in Belito.
So only a family will be asking to stay there for free. And what if the government takes it away, eh?
Dad, I don't think it works like that.
I'll tell you what works. Gold. At your age, I invested in gold coins and it paid for your university fees and your wedding. No contracts, no agreements. Your investment is in your hands and you own it. With a 70% growth in only 5 years, do you still doubt gold investment? Contact RJ Coin today, 031 202 4701, or visit them at 151 Stephen Lamini Road in Musgrave, Durban. Randery Jewelers Gold Coin Exchange, your passport to gold investment.
You are listening to Salam Media live from our headquarters in South Africa. This is Salam Media, keeping you company this Ramadan.
And most definitely keeping you in company this afternoon with Mariam and Nafeesa. And we're definitely getting you on another vibe today because you know Eid is like what, 2 days away?
Yes. Well, 1.5 days now.
Okay, so I'm starting to lose track of the time here. It's going by so quickly. But we're definitely enticing you in many directions this afternoon. We're still carrying on with the prophetic. We're asking you to follow through with it. This month, we've enticed you to actually find your holistic being due to Ramadan and, of course, during the lockdown as well. And the idea is, I think, post Ramadan to actually follow through with all of that we've taught them to be able to find a holistic being and get more positive and get through this entire thing in a great way.
Well, now it's going to be our way of life.
Most definitely. So on the line, I have with me, and I should say, here we go, Mrs. Edmund Mashuda Taylor from Halal Recipes, always enticing us in one way or the other. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sister Mashuda, are you on the line? Okay, now let me just tell you something about Sister Mashuda. Sister Mashuda, are you on the line?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so yes, I can. How are you doing?
Let's just... Shazia will work her Shazia magic. Let's just...
I think Sister Mashuda is having a bit of an issue with her sound there. Let's just see if she can get it to... There we go. Sister Mashuda, can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Gee, we can hear you. Tell me, how was your day today? And it is, of course, 2 days left before our Eid special, and we enticing people here to carry on with the prophetic that we've been actually encouraging them to change their lifestyle during this lockdown and Ramadan. And you've been really helping us with the hadith and enticing us in many directions to get totally prophetic. What do you have in mind for us today going forward for Eid?
I know everybody is so excited about Eid, and a lot of people are doing all their preparations like yesterday, and I've seen a lot of hawas being made and a lot of milk being made and people marinating their meat and stuff like that, all for Eid. And I think the excitement is just blooming everywhere, although everybody is sad. the fact that they can't spend the Eid with family and there's going to be no Eid Salah. But I think with the situation right now, we're trying to have a blessed Eid and spoiling all our family members at home and having a good Eid table, inshallah.
Yeah, it's true. So, what did you have in mind for us today? Because we have a whole array set up here on our table, and we were just waiting for you to give us the ad hoc to it because we're enticing people to actually have a prophetic brunch for Eid.
I was thinking a good idea would be, I know a lot of people like to prepare Eid milk and the rice milk here for Eid. So a nice way to actually start that off is if you can maybe make a glass of hot talbina instead of adding the Eid milk, because talbina is a prophetic food, as well as the milk and the honey which is added into it. It's all sunnah and was eaten by our Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And obviously, he had something sweet before he went for the Eid Salah as well. So it's also sunnah to have something sweet before going for Eid Salah. So maybe this is something that would be a really, really nice thing to change around from having your normal and usual Eid milk to then actually having a hot cup of dalbina mixed with honey and nuts.
Yeah, most definitely. And let's talk about the nutrition of it because the last time we spoke about talbina, there was so much of nutrition that it had, and you know asked us to incorporate it in our sehri and our iftar as well. But it's nice to know that now we can also incorporate it in our brunch and substitute it with the badam milk that we always make.
Or the bubar, don't forget.
Oh,
All
yeah.
our listeners say the bubar as well.
They don't know what it is. It's actually barley. It's barley flour. So you don't have to actually go out of your house looking for ingredients. If you're looking for things to use in your own home, you can just use the barley from home, and you can grind it, and you can just maybe ground it out a little bit, and you can use that instead of actually using any other stuff. So Talbina has many benefits, and some of which has been discovered in modern studies, such as it lowers the cholesterol, it treats the heart, it also treats depression. So maybe for people that are depressed on Eid day, that they can't meet with their families, this is actually a really good thing to use.
Yeah, most definitely. And I think that's what we're looking for is uplifting people's spirits during this very difficult period of time because I think everyone is finding it difficult because as we know, Eid is a day with extended family as such, and that's not going to happen this year due to the lockdown. So it's great to see that, you know, the Tulbinas, as you can say, a pepper upper, should we say that it's going to help them in some way to be able to deal with it besides the mindset.
Yeah, definitely. Because do you know, whenever the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, if there was a death or if there's a family member that was depressed or whatever it was, he always asked his wife Aisha to prepare a pot of talbina because he said it would soothe and relieve the depressed heart. So maybe a talbina would be actually a good idea to have in the morning because not only is it sunnah, but it obviously if you add in the milk and you add in the honey as well as the kajur inside, it sweetens it as well. So it becomes a very nice milk to have with your family in the morning with all the health benefits that it has. And you know, there was something else that the Prophet ﷺ also enjoyed eating. It was called tharid. And tharid is something which was a flat bread where he actually made stew out of mutton and he added his favorite vegetable inside, which was pumpkin. And he made a stew out of this and he added that on his flat bread and he had it as well. And sometimes he would have actually asked Aisha radiallahu anhu to make a pot of talbina and he would have added the talbina in that stew as well.
Sure, that's very interesting, Mariam. I'm sure this is something we learn all the time. The last time Mashuda spoke about biltong, I think it got us all going because we didn't even realize it was a prophetic food.
Subhanallah. And just, Sister Mashura, you speaking to Mariam Mia. I'd like to know the talbina. Do we braise it first? Like how we make the cereal when we're doing it in our substitute for Eid milk or badam milk or bubar? Do we braise it first and then how do we go about in terms of our preparation?
Okay, so there's two ways of making it. The one is the easier way of making it. So what you do is if you're making just one portion for one person, so you would take a cup of milk and you would add 2 tablespoons of talbina to that with a little bit water if you'd like. If you don't like to have a lot of milk, you can do half water, half milk. You would add the talbina to that and you will carry on whisking it when you are cooking it until it thickens. And then once that thickens, you would add in your honey as well as chopped dates and nuts as well. That's one way. The second way of making talbina is you would add in a tablespoon of ghee into your pot. You would allow that ghee to melt, and you would add in 2 tablespoons of the talbina powder, the ground talbina, and you would slightly braise it like how you would braise your soji until it slightly browns a little bit, and then you would then add your milk, your liquids to that, and then you would keep on whisking it until it thickens. Then obviously the consistency would be how your family would like it. So if your family would like it a bit more runny, you would keep on adding milk. If they like it thick, then you would stop just there.
I'm definitely going for the ghee and braising because it's Eid, so we need to indulge a bit.
So you're going for the richer version. Let's put it that
It's
way.
Eid.
I've seen a lot of people actually adding adding a tablespoon of soji and a pinch of ilachi to that as well, so it tastes like Eid milk as well. In fact, I had my talbina for suhoor like that today. I actually added in a pinch of ilachi in my talbina with the nuts and honey. It was very, very nice.
Oh, that sounds really good. So we're definitely going to have a new take this Eid. I'm definitely going to go out and try the talbina. As I said, you know, when this prophetic food started, you got my entire family hooked on labne.
So we're trending this Eid for hashtag Talbina milk, right? So
Most
it's trending.
definitely.
It's trending.
Most definitely. Sister Mushida, we'd like to thank you so much for taking the entire month out and, you know, spending that time with us to actually entice us with the hadiths and the nutrition, I think the nutritional value that each prophetic food had and how to actually incorporate it. Because a lot of the times, I don't know about you, Mariam, but I had the issue where if somebody tells me use pomegranates, I just eat the pomegranate on its own. So Sister Mushida has definitely given us a different take on how to incorporate it every single time in a meal, but in many directions. So we'd like to thank you for taking the time out and for, of course, for enticing us. But I think if anybody wants those recipes, then they should actually go to Halal Recipes because it's all listed there, and look for Mrs. Edmond because that's the first thing that I do.
Inshallah, I hope that you guys have a blessed Eid and everybody out there has a blessed Eid. Please stay safe this Eid as well. And inshallah, remember us in your du'as.
Ameen, and thank you so much for always enticing us to eat the right way. I think it's going to go a long way, especially with our listeners. So I think from the Salam Media team, we want to do nothing but thank you for that. And we say have a blessed Eid with your family.
You too, Jazakallahu khairan.
It's only a pleasure. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam
And
wa
this
rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
And that was definitely very interesting because, you know, the entire month, and the one day we did the segment on biltong, and I don't know about you, but I think 3/4 of our listeners retweeted because everybody didn't actually know that biltong was actually a sunnah food. That in the days of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they used to actually take the meat, put salt to preserve it, dry it out, and then eat it. And obviously, it was like biltong. So I think we've really come a long way from where we started. Thank you to Sister Mashuda.
Absolutely. I mean, when we conceived the idea of prophetic foods, we didn't know it's going to go in this direction. And there's so many things we can just incorporate and implement and make it a way of our life, a part of our lives. And alhamdulillah, like wood, you know, biltong is like one of those pleasures you sit and you chew and you relish. And I just make intention and niyyah for sunnah. And alhamdulillah, you're going to be rewarded for eating that piece of biltong. Ah, the beauty of our deen.
Most definitely.
And this segment was brought to us by Ihsan Store. So visit Ihsan Store where you'll find so much more. We are a unique range of Ihsan apparel thobes made using the finest fabrics for men and little men. Inspired style abayas, scarves, books, fine oud fragrances for him and her, and a new range of Lego products for everybody. We are situated on 45 Grant Avenue, Norwood, Johannesburg, or call us on 084 22 2244 786. Let me repeat that 084 2244 786. The Ihsan Store, your premium lifestyle store. And now let's see, before we get to, we're going to go for a short break, and then we've got Sister Nina, ALEXIA BRAZZO, and we did it in 2 parts. Her shared an amazing story of her journey to Islam, and we had it in 2 parts because it was just a phenomenal inspiration story. So I left my listeners on a cliffhanger the one Tuesday, and then we completed the journey on Monday, and she had a poem to read. And due to time's constraints, I said, you know what, it's Eid, essence of Eid, and that, and we want to be inspired by her poem. So I think after the break, we're gonna get Sister Nina, and Naseeha. So that's her name since she has embraced Islam, Naseeha, and she's gonna recite to us her beautiful poetry along with the Eid message.
We're definitely looking forward to that. So stay with us. We'll be back with you shortly.
Okay.
Salam Media.
Are you looking for a cross-border road transport company that is committed in achieving high safety standards, who is fast and efficient, and also excel in customer service? Gardi Global specializes in cross-border transport from South Africa to Mozambique, Zimbabwe, Zambia, and Malawi. Gardi Global, situated at 10 Daniel Road, Benrose, Johannesburg. For inquiries, contact our trained staff on 011 614 3108 or email info@gardiglobal.co.za. Safe long haul into Africa is our business. Gardi Global Transport.
Welcome back, and you definitely see her with Nafeesa and Miriam, enticing you this afternoon to get into that Eid mood. We understand it's a difficult period during this lockdown, and we're not going to see our extended families. But I think it's a time to actually also just try and be positive, and we're trying to change that mindset, and I think make people feel a bit happier and look forward to something. Let's put it that way.
That's it. It's all about this anticipation, because there's no reason we shouldn't have that Eid anticipation, the Eid traditions, what we do in our homes, and just that excitement, because you can feel it. We need to make it tangible again.
And it's also a celebration of the entire month of what we did, like retrospect, reflect, reconnect. It was a little bit of everything that we enticed ourselves to do. And I think sometimes we just owe it to ourselves to treat ourselves and say, you know what, let's feel better about this. And this is one way of doing it.
We need to, not let's, we need to feel better ourselves, and we need to treat ourselves and acknowledge the day, a day of celebration, a day of family, and a day of just food. You know, we've fasted for 29 days or 30 days, depending on the moon sighting, and now one day of indulgence and a little feasting, but a bait. You said we're going healthy this time. We're going prophetic foods,
Exactly.
carrying on a theme, and now we have I think, food for the soul, because I have Sister Nina Alexia BRAZZO, who is also has embraced Islam, and her name is Nusayba, and she's even given us the hadith of the Sahabi, the brave Sahabi, who she's named after her namesake, Nusayba radiallahu anha. So let me just see if I have Sister Nusayba on the line. Assalamu alaikum, Sister Nusayba.
Walaikum salam.
Welcome again to Salam Media and our afternoon program, Motivation in Naseeha. And today is all about the poem. I've been waiting in anticipation from, I think, our first conversation for the poem. So, Bismillah, please share the poem with us.
Okay. So the first one I'm going to share is called One and Only True Love. And before I start, I'm going to explain some of the names I use for Allah for the non-Muslim listeners out there. Ya Hakimu means the wise, ever wise, endowed with sound judgment. Qadir, the all-powerful, he who is able to do everything. Ar-Rahman, all compassionate, the most gracious. Rahim, the most merciful, ever merciful. And another one of Allah's names, Al-Waqdud, the lover, the affectionate, the loving one, the one who tenders and warms hearts. So I'm going to start. The melody of this and the inspiration came from a zikr. So I'm going to start with that. And people are welcome to join in. Ya Hakimu, Ya Qadiru, Ya Rahmanu, Ya Rahim. 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 Hakimu, Ya Qadiru,
Ya Rahmanu, Ya Rahim.
Ya Qadiru, Ya Rahmanu.
Ya Rahmanu, Ya Rahim.
Your lips be moist with the names of the Almighty. Your tongue taste the sweetness of our Wadud and our Rahman. For after all is said and done, who really is the only one? Who is it that simply says be and it is? When you enter his domain, you can only say peace, peace, peace. For Jesus, Moses, Noah and Abraham, they all were and knew what it meant to be Muslim. They warned and they pleaded you to surrender to the one and only Creator. But oh, too often, generation after generation fell for the world and thought that they were better. There was one that came to confirm all the prophets before and stories to be sealed. So if you yearn for the truth of reality, ask, and the complete celestial connection will be revealed. Therefore, repeat that there is no God but one, and salutation. To attract the angels so they surround, protect, and report back the recitation. Purifying the heart with pure, full, rapita connection, so that what comes from the hand and the tongue is no longer from Satan. Align the mind, body, and soul correlation. Strive in your effort to chase the ego out with interrogation. Refine that meditation and clear thought pattern, forgetting place, self, and time. Experience new dawn awakening, raising like electricity. Complete the fast by practicing the constant state that the greater being is facing you. Link tongue with your heart as we are in the ocean of mercy and gifts. Become transformers and upbraid your state, so that when fitna tribulation occurs, your actions offspring from the fresh water of sincerity. Struggle attaining perfection and excellence. True love and unity and oneness, once tested, is when the true wisdom rises to win with yourself, time, and wealth sacrifice. Sprouting from the seedling to blossoming through remembrance of the one and only. Thank you. That's the first poem.
Mashallah. Wow. That was just so potent, really. So strong.
I think it was
such
very
emotion.
deep. It gets you thinking in many directions. The way it's written, starting off with the dhikr and then, of course, going into the rest
And
of
I
the
loved
prophetic
it.
stuff. It's absolutely amazing. I think it actually is food for the soul, as you said.
Absolutely. And Sister Naseeha, when did you write this? How long ago you wrote this poem, this particular one?
I wrote this in 2017. So at that time I was staying in a mosque in Malaysia, actually, for the period of Ramadan and for some time after that. And I was doing this zikr daily, and that's where the inspiration came.
Subhanallah. Subhanallah. Okay. We'll take the second poem and then we'll do a wrap up.
Okay. There's quite a lot of noise in the background there, so I'll try and concentrate. I hope that the listeners can hear me clearly. I'm going to share the last poem that I actually wrote, which was the 10th of April. It was Good Friday, and it's called Take Ownership of Time. Now that you have time, take it, own it, use it. Beyond the outer mind. Don't abuse or curse it. They say time is a healer. Could also be you are a time stealer. Now that you have the breath for healing, do you use it to absorb or instigate toxicity? You could be the very cause that creates chaos and realize your instability. Thinking the grass on the other side is greener? The roses are right here with me, growing, blossoming in my heart, because I'm a nurturer. Is there everything out the window and nothing in the room? When Allah can only be contained in the heart, not even the whole universe until it go boom. Why are you looking to social media for answers and feeling so blue? As the Earth's ocean to the sky and outer galaxies are deeply circling within you. Do you now feel trapped with companions or your family? Realize you've been missing out on genuine connection or daydream of running away to another country? Are you in solitude on your own and wondering if you are sane? Missing human touch, voice, outside environment, and the daily grain. Do you go from one wall to another, knocking on all the doors for an answer, looking from person to fulfill your needs or for recognition? When he only changes your state when you choose your inner condition. Word up. Forgetting the true source of your sustenance is not your spouse or government, but the one that brought your very existence. Remember, you came into this world alone with nothing and will be taken away the same. So do what may seem like a small, insignificant good deed for no personal gain. Even though it may seem it will disappear in the face of the needs of so many, consider that little deed. It rings, it lives, it ripples, it echoes an eternity. Although you may look at the world we live in and the current dire situation, never give up. Be assured of the benefit, change, and transformation of your contribution. Therefore, act on that good thought and the little things, even if you may not never see the full beauty it brings. Thank you
Sister
very much.
Nusaiba, another truly reflective poem. Just thinking about it, reflecting on a time, and I think that's something lockdown has given us, time to reflect. And another very, very strong, powerful poem. Mashallah for those words of inspiration, and shukr for affording us the opportunity to engage with you and for you to share your amazing, amazing journey to Islam with myself and all our listeners. It's been an amazing journey with you this Ramadan, and may you have a blessed day of Eid. Eid Mubarak.
Thank you very much. And I pray that people take on the messages behind the poetry and have the time to reflect and be present. Don't ever wish time to pass. The only thing constant is change. So, yeah, some people live their lives in a state of lockdown. Some people are stateless and marginalized. So maybe the situation it wasn't any different this year, or maybe it was even better because the community came together and actually recognized more of the needs in the community. So never take the family and friends for granted during this Eid. Really appreciate everyone's company that you have around you in your homes.
Absolutely, absolutely. Jazakallah. Very powerful words from Sister Nusaiba. And have a blessed day of Eid. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Definitely very inspirational. It's nice to see how Walaikum salam. It's definitely powerful to see how deep this has been thinking in many directions, and it actually really does make you reflect as such.
And what's amazing is Sister Nusaiba is not somebody born in the deen, but her understanding and her profound spirituality and the connection to the Almighty is just amazing.
Most definitely, I agree with you. Definitely very inspirational. But we definitely want to tell you that this segment was brought by, and I'm going to tell you now. Firstly, let me just read out the advert to you. It says it's two fantastic products for the price of one: FDA certified thermometers and solid steel foot operated freestanding dispensers, including the bottle of sanitizer for 1,780 Rand. For both these products, these thermometers come with a 12-month warranty, and bulk pricing is available. And you can call Thabit on 083 379 7041 or email infectioncontrol@netactive.co.za. And that segment was brought to you by Thabit. We're going to go for a quick break. Stay with us. We have something really interesting for you after the break.
Salam Media.
These days, I'm more health conscious than ever. So tonight, it's cooked in healthy Helios pure sunflower cooking oil. Helios is pure sunflower goodness, packed with omega-6. That's good for your heart, and is approved as part of the Heart and Stroke Foundation eating plan. Dinner's ready! Helios, pure sunflower cooking oil. A healthy family is a happy one.
You are tuned into Motivation and Naseeha with Nafeesa and Mariam, and we're definitely enticing you this afternoon with many different things. Looking forward within the next 2 days to Eid, of course, but as we said, a very different Eid this year.
Indeed, I think we all missing now the extent that excitement of meeting everybody. You know, the meet and greet for Eid and catching up on how was everybody's Ramadan and what's happening and
Exactly.
just the spirit. And I think I really feel for the young ones because Eid is about the cousins and the excitement and those building of those memories and that.
Most
But
definitely.
you know what? Thanks to social media and thanks to electronic platforms, so yes, it will be. We can have a virtual Eid.
Most
So we'll all
definitely.
have this virtual Eid. So we'll all connected at the same time, and we can just partake in our Eid breakfast or the lunch. Or some families are doing lappa this year, so a brunch and a lappa. So we're cutting down and just combining two meals. I know I'm doing a lappa this Eid year, so looking forward to that. And then we're just gonna connect virtually with our family and that. But food's always on the agenda.
Oh, most definitely. And this is why, we did prophetic foods the entire month. It was actually enticing people to change their whole holistic being. Besides it being Ramadan, of course, during the lockdown, it gave us time to reflect, to change the way we live. Our lifestyles were, I think, totally incorrect. And it gave us a time to actually ground ourselves and reflect in retrospect to be able to change certain
And
things.
how we consume foods.
Most definitely. And I think the most important thing was food. So we decided this time around, everybody, and I hope you're listening to this. We decided that the entire month we did prophetic foods. And it was about continuing through with it. It doesn't help to be able to, have a healthy meal the entire month, get your body all sorted out, and then, of course, go backwards. So what we decided, as you were saying, you having a lappa, we having a brunch. So in order to take it on the health deck, we decided to do a healthy brunch. And with me on the line, I have Sister NABEELAH MAYET from ZAATAR and ZEAL, and she's definitely taken all these prophetic foods and put it together for us. And if you can see, there's an array of amazing things happening here on our table, and she's going to tell us a little bit about it. Assalamu alaikum, and thank you for joining us on the line, Sister NABEELAH.
Walaikum salam.
You know what? We always have this habit where we try and eat we were enticing people to eat prophetic foods the entire month. And then come Eid day, I think we make up in a day for the entire month.
Absolutely.
We eat all the wrong things. So we want to actually thank you for creating this array of foods for us to give us an idea of how to have actually a healthy but yet a prophetic brunch. So talk to us about the array that we have here on the table today.
Okay, so I included some of the staples. The staples that I'm familiar with, and a lot of my customers, over the years, have become, accustomed to having the Eid breakfast table. Sometimes they have it at the Eid lunch table, or even just to accompany the supper. A lot of the
dips and the condiments that I do make can sort of just lighten a heavy meal that's more meat based and turn it into something that you just enjoy with a little bit of bread, or something as simple as cucumber sticks. So it doesn't really have to be only about just having meat. So we've got there's the simple thing of just some cold meat on one of the boards. With that, I put some cucumber slices, some sliced tomatoes, whatever fruit you have available in your home. I just said I happen to have some nachos, but try and include the kids when you do stuff like this, because they may like to include items that they like. So there's some dates as well, and just things that your family would like in general. It's about just getting them to eat different things and to take away from the fact of as well including things that are not fried. The dates are sunnah as well. The meat is a sunnah. Then your breads go with that, and then the dips go with that. From the dips themselves, there's the tzatziki, which is yogurt based. So there again, something which is prophetic food. And then my absolute favorite, and I think one that's been very popular throughout Ramadan, is the labne. Again, a thick yogurt type of cheese. A lot of people don't know that ZAATAR itself is a prophetic food. So I love to top the labne with a bit of ZAATAR and a nice drizzle of olive oil. And so that on its own, for us generally, it just becomes a meal. You could spread it onto your bread or enjoy it, just as a side or as a meal itself. So that's the one thing. And then something simple again for breakfast that it's become sort of a thing for us to start a few needs. We've started including eggs in the breakfast menu. So I did just a basic shakshuka mixture, which is very simple to do your own, even masala eggs. But eggs are nice because you also tend to keep it, otherwise you're eating meat maybe 3 times for the day, and it's just it's overdoing everything. So if you try and keep your breakfast without that much of meat, it's also it's got health benefits too. And then the other thing to go with it, you could have items if you're keen to fry and eat morning. Olives are sunnah food, prophetic food again. So things like that are nice to just include. A lot of ladies, at this time especially, we may not have everything available to us, but I promise you, if you raid your grocery cupboard, and you'll find a lot of things, maybe jar of olives that you've not opened, things that you haven't looked at for a while. Meze is very simple, so it's just what you enjoy eating, and it's about putting it out in little bowls or little dishes, and just sharing. It's sharing a meal, enjoying it together, and just partaking of something that's wholesome.
Most definitely. And, as we were saying, all these prophetic foods have some form of nutrition or the other. So I think after an entire month of fasting and renewing ourselves in our body, we're definitely keeping within that theme for a nice brunch on Eid day with all these prophetic foods. And I think it's very nutritional, Mariam, because the thing, a lot of the times what happens is, like I said to Sister Nabeelah, we go backwards. We eat healthy the entire month, and then suddenly we start eating all the wrong things all over again. So I think this is a nice meal to have with the family. And I think it's also very refreshing.
Absolutely. And I'm looking at, what? Instead of having sweets or even, your sweet meats or whatever, these are such lovely snacking foods, because it's getting the family together while you're sitting around. You take instead of taking a sweet or sweet meat or biscuit or something like that, or something oily, you're putting a nut in your mouth, you're having a cucumber, dipping a butt. So it's like just social food, and I love, for me, harvest platters like this are amazing. And this is my kind of food, and very, very quick to assemble.
Yes.
Because you just, they deconstruct it. So you're chopping everything up, and this is a great way to get the kids involved, because you could say, here's everything, come under supervision. We're going to chop everything, and now here you do it. Here's the board, and you create your masterpiece.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm loving this, Sister Nabeelah, and even the falafel way as well. They look very tempting. I'm just thinking I'm going to take
with
two
that
home.
fasting, yeah,
Yes,
Nabeelah.
you know, you're enticing us. It's now we're looking at the time. When is going to be 5:30, so we can tuck into a lovely falafel, and then with one of those lovely dups. They look so well, and they're so easy to use the jar. And so tell me, like this, they have a shelf. The jars themselves, they have a shelf life. Sister Nabila,
Sister Nabeelah, are you still on the line?
I think we had some interference. Tell us a little more about the jars themselves. Do they have a shelf life? Once they open, do we put them in the fridge, and then for how long can we use them?
Okay, so generally with my products, I try and maintain everything is preservative free, additive free, colorant free. So it's all very, it's really made with love and kind of, natural, not like the commercial versions you find in the shops already. So I try and maintain a sense of quality with the product. Yes, they do have a shelf life, and each jar I lovingly handwrite the best before date. So the shelf life ranges between 2 weeks with some, and some flavors over 2 months. It just varies between each of the flavors. But there again, at least you're getting a better quality product, and something that you can eat as much as you like of it, because it's healthy for you, it's good for you, and at the same time you're fulfilling a sunnah by eating, especially the lavne. I just want to go into that a little bit. So for Eid morning, perhaps, even if you're not so keen on the savory type with ZAATAR, people have been doing their own lavne, and you could do variations of it as a sweet type with a bit of honey and figs. Even honey as well is a prophetic food, the figs. Even if you have pomegranates available, things like that are wonderful to add, and they're all prophetic food. There's a lot of our fruits that if we look into it, they've all got prophetic healing and meaning to them. So you can include that. Another nice variation that you could do, as opposed to your traditional Eid milk, is something that I did and I've been enjoying throughout Ramadan, is I've been adding talbina to milk. So I do a lot of I make it into a smoothie with a bit of ilachi, and you could add bananas and dates, and it's a different type of, I would say, Eid milk, and again, embracing the prophetic way of eating, and just something nourishing. Maybe the kids would enjoy and enjoy making it with the mums at home as well.
Jazakallah so much for joining us today and for bringing in your array of stuff so that our listeners can get enticed into, of course, having a prophetic brunch for Eid instead of the norm. So we really want to actually thank you for taking the time and the effort to come out and showcase your wares for us, because I think it's enticed us as well to have a nice prophetic brunch for Eid. So we're going to go straight to the nasheed. We'll chat to you soon. Thank you so much. Have a blessed Eid, and Jazakallah for all that you've done for us here at Salam Media.
No, it was an absolute pleasure. Jazakallah for having me. Have a lovely Eid.
You too. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum. And we're going to have a nasheed. So Rehan's actually an upcoming nasheed artist, Mariam, if you didn't know. And we thought we'll give him the break on Salam Media. It's all about, getting these young people and profiling them and then getting them out there. So that's what we were looking at doing. I think it's interesting, sometimes you want to get a different take as opposed to the usual. So let's get going with brother Rehan Jeevan. Yeah, so as I was telling you, he's going to be coming on in a bit. I think we're having a bit of a technical issue there, but they're trying to get him on the line. As I was telling you, sometimes, there's these upcoming artists that always need that first break. And this is what Salam Media is all about. It's about giving back and helping each other grow and moving each other from strength to strength. And I've seen this has been happening in many directions, not just with nasheed artists as such.
That's what, in essence, humanitarian journalism is about. And I mean, that's what we're doing here. That human touch, like you say, giving somebody a break, showcasing somebody. And that's what we're doing also. In this time of lockdown, it has been an economic challenge for small businesses, all businesses, so to speak. And that's what we've been doing here. by getting people on, actually empowering them and giving an opportunity for people, so that, you know what, it's about survival at the moment. So
Yeah, it's about survival. I think it's also about networking and supporting each other, creating that those little backbones and spines for each other, so that we know that we can help each other move forward in some way.
Absolutely, and that's what we do, and that is our connection and our. That's the amazing thing, in the. I've did the segment. I've conducted the segment Ramadan around the world, and we're from Turkey to Nigeria. We've been, I think, even to Zimbabwe, down in South Africa. The one concern is, masjids were closed, everything, but that spirit and that bond of the Islamic brethren, I think that's what united us and connects us and continues to unite us as people, is our oneness. And I was thinking, what, we're so fortunate we have this beautiful Deen and connect
you're saying beautiful Deen. Here we go. We have Brother Rehan Jeevan on the line. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. How are you guys?
Alhamdulillah. And how are you doing?
Alhamdulillah.
Okay, so we're really looking forward to this. So we're not even going to ask you anything else. Please go for it, because we're so waiting to be inspired.
مولاي صل لي وسلم دائما ابدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم مولاي صل لي وسلم دائما ابدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم محمد سيد الكونين والثقلين محمد سيد الكونين والثقلين والفريقين من قرب ومن عجم مولاي صل لي وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم صلى الله على محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم صلى الله على محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم هو الحبيب الذي ترجى شفاعته هو الحبيب الذي ترجى شفاعته لكل حول من الأغوال متهم مولاي صل لي وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم صلى الله على محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم صلى الله على محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم مولاي صل لي وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم صدق الله العظيم.
Wow, mashallah, that was amazing. What did you think? Definitely upcoming Nasheed artist.
Absolutely, absolutely. And remember, we profiled you here on motivation in Naseeha with Nafeesa and Mariam. So always remember that it was here that you got your big break, mashallah. Don't forget the small ones.
Wait a minute, we'll call it his debut.
Absolutely.
Definitely. So Rehan, don't forget about us when you get out there. Hey, your debut was definitely done on this Eid special here with the two of us. We wish you nothing but the best of success. We Allah grant you, take you from strength to strength. You have such a mashallah voice, and you definitely inspired us and enticed us. I think we're in a happier, more inspired mood now after this. You even got us going with you.
And he needs to avail himself again for future for us, because we need that, trumped up atmosphere, and just, mashallah, Allah bless you with a beautiful voice, and may you continue inspiring people in your voice towards Deen.
Most definitely. And you have a blessed Eid. Jazakallah for spending your time with us. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Jazakallah.
And this segment was brought by
Autosport Motors. You're looking for a new or quality used vehicle at an unbelievable price, then Autosport Motor City is your dealership to go to with tailor made packages to suit your individual driving experience. Visit us at www.autosportmc.co.za or pop in at 89 Amtel Avenue, Benoni, or call on 011 420 0063. That's Autosport Motor City.
Wow. Okay, there we go. And now we're going to go to, as we were saying, we have this table and this array of things on this table. And it's so amazing to see that people have come together to actually help us understand what it is that we can eat. And I don't know about you, but I am an avid sweet tooth. So when it comes to looking for the right dessert, it's a problem for me because I leave the healthy food and I run to the dessert first thing. So today, Clenergy Tasnimi has definitely given us a different take on actually eating healthy but also eating tasty. So I think you can chat to her now.
Assalamu alaikum, Sister Tasneem.
Wa alaikum salam. How are you, Mariam and Nafeesa? Nice to be back on the show.
Alhamdulillah, it's good to have you. And just before we even begin, let me tell you, everybody's salivating here and everybody's laid a claim and a stake to part of that most beautiful dessert there, and it's so enticing. So just let you know that after there's going to be a food fight after the show because everybody staked a claim there. So mashallah, you know what, when we're thinking of desserts, and I said, you know what, a dessert must be enjoyable. Otherwise, what's the point of having a dessert? And when we're thinking of, but where we're going to get a dessert that's also good for you, that has nutritional value, and the only person I could think of, or only place that I know where you can get everything, you all in one stop when you want health and nutrition is at Clenergy. So, Sister Tasneem, tell us about this beautiful, amazing dessert. It looks so amazing. It's a perfect accompaniment to any Eid meal, and it just looks gorgeous on a Eid table. So, tell us what is this, and why is this particular dessert so good for us?
Okay, so basically what I've sent for you today is a brownie cheesecake. It is decadent. It's got 3 layers, as you can see. So you've got your brownie layer at the bottom, obviously your cheesecake layer in the center, and then a lovely ganache layer on the top. And then decorated with some lovely fruit. I tried to use some pomegranates, sticking with the prophetic foods we spoke about throughout the month of Ramadan. You can definitely put figs on there, and yeah, in terms of healthy, we use no refined sugar in the cake. So even though it looks as decadent as it does, there's no sugar in there, believe it or not. Also, we use no flour. So we know that, your flours and your sugars are actually, now that, studies have come about it, finding that actually causes a lot of, your ailments and your illnesses. So I've moved away from your carbs, your flours, your sugars, your refined sugars. In the cake, like I said, the brownie layer is made with pure cacao powder. Yesterday, I did toughen it slightly with Nafeesa to say that, cacao powder is a superfood. It's the number 1 anti-aging superfood in the world right now. So we use pure cacao powder, which is unsweetened. And that's what we make our brownie base with. There's some lovely nuts in the base as well. We use almond flour. That's what, binds the base. So we use no flour, your cake flours and your wheat flour. So there's no wheat in the actual baking. It's a gluten-free cake. Your cheese layer is your full-fat cheeses and your full-fat creams, which we know are actually good for you. Before, there was a change and a move towards low fat and fat-free. But they've actually found that that's actually not the problem. If your full fats are perfectly fine, it's your sugars that are actually bad. And then on the top, the little layer of chocolate, this is the ganache layer. Again, just to make the cake more decadent, more tasty, we make our own ganache with pure cacao powder and pure dark chocolate, which is an unsweetened dark chocolate. But we do use some maple syrup and honey, again, your prophetic food, to sweeten the chocolate. Because again, it is a dessert, and we don't expect you to eat the dessert and go, and never want to eat it again. And when we started with Energy, one of the main briefs I mentioned to Nafeesa yesterday from my husband Abdullah, who's obviously we are business partners, and this is our baby. One of his briefs was, we need to have a restaurant that is going to be decadent, tasty. People must want to come back, And that's where we went with the desserts. We decided to go with your decadent desserts.
and they're all guilt-free, so they're not going to spike your sugar if you're diabetic. Okay, so that's number one, because your diabetics battle a lot. I mean, they're not allowed to have a lot of your sugars and your carbs, but their body craves it. So we're coming in that way where we want to help the diabetics. Also for people that are calorie counting, watching their weight, watching their diets, which a lot of us are doing these days, because, not just for the look, but also just for health reasons, So we've gone with desserts that are all guilt-free. And that's what you're looking at in front of you. So if you take, when you guys have your food fight and you take those desserts that you got home today, just remember that you're taking home a guilt-free dessert, so you can eat it without any guilt.
We can have our cake and eat it. I'm loving this.
You know what? There's been a huge problem here, Tasneem. We've been staring at this cake all afternoon fasting, and as Mariam was saying, it's so nice. It's such a fresh take to see that there's something so healthy, but that looks yet so decadent. And unfortunately, I can't tell you what it tastes like now, but you will definitely hear from me later.
Yeah, well, I must confess, we had our co-producers are saying they breaking their fast with the slice of that decadent brownie cheesecake today. They're not waiting for Eid. They're going to have it as soon as they break fast. They're going to indulge. So, Tasneem, Jazakallah for all the time you've given us in Ramadan. You've educated our listeners, educated ourselves in terms of good eating practices, prophetic eating practices, mashallah. Like you say, the name, Clenergy, when we first met and you told me the name, and I remember Abdullah telling us, it's clean energy. So Jazakallah for transferring this clean energy to us and showing us there is a better way of eating, and it's much appreciated, and you have a blessed day of Eid. Jazakallah.
Thank you so much. And likewise from myself, I appreciate you taking the time to chat to me, entice us. And I, like Mariam says, I think I've also learned a lot, and I definitely intend changing the vibe at home. So thank you so much. And you have a blessed Eid with your family. Assalamu alaikum.
I think sisters.
Yeah, that was Sister Tasneem on the line. And so what sort of take you can get, like you said, you can have your cake and eat it. Isn't that very
I'm loving it.
I love it, because a lot of the times you've got to look at your diet and you look at it and you think to yourself, can't have it. Okay.
So are we going to go for a break? And
yeah,
then
we're going to go for a quick break. We'll be back with you in a sec.
What are you doing? E-messages or my...
Salam Media. Now it's time to act, and inshallah, may you be rewarded for your generosity. Call IDM on 031 304 6883. IDM, caring for the poor.
The Phoenix Dawah Care Center has been assisting the poor in Phoenix for the past 40 years. We provide many sponsorships and various services such as a crèche, preschool and madrasa for ladies, bursaries and scholarships, sandwiches to schools and clinics, Operation Qurbani, Winter Warmth Project, Hajj and Umrah sponsorship for the past 16 years, food hampers and Halim in Ramadan. A Section 18A tax certificate can be issued on request. Call Ruqayya Bobat on 031 500 1499. All contributions are welcome for the Phoenix Dawah Care Center.
Are you willing to do
Welcome back to Motivation and Naseeha, to you by the Zahira Bayat Restoration Studio in Greenside, which specializes in the digital microscopic scalp analysis, a scalp assessment that gives you an in-depth look into your hair follicles and scalp condition, treating unhealthy, falling, dehydrated hair effectively. Get your free assessment valued at 600 Rand from now until the 30th of June. By appointment only. They are situated at the Greenside Clinic, number 9 Glen Eagles Road, Greenside. You can contact Zahira Bayat on 079 027 1708. And that was brought to you by the Zahira Bayat Restoration Studio in Greenside, this particular segment. And it's interesting now because we have loads of messages coming in. So who do I have on the line with me now? Brother Nishan Bolton from the Amit Kasrada Foundation. Hi, a very good afternoon to you, Brother Nishan.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
You and your listeners? Very well. And yourself?
Thank you. I'm well, thank you. And thank you so much for joining us today. The pleasure is always mine. I did speak to you last on my show, and I'm speaking to you again today. So it's really nice tapping into you. I believe you have an Eid message for our listeners.
I do.
You can go ahead.
Just firstly, thanks to yourselves, to Salam Media, for giving us this opportunity. The Ahmed Kathrada Foundation extends its greetings and well wishes to all Muslims in South Africa and throughout the world. May this Eid be an especially blessed and peaceful one. Ramadan 2020 has not been an easy one for many. It had to be observed in isolation, and the normal breaking of fast with friends and family could not take place, nor could the gatherings in mosques take place every night. This COVID-19 crisis has required a huge sacrifice from all of us, and has made our interdependence on each other clearer now more than ever before. But instead of withdrawing into our homes and only being concerned about ourselves, this period has seen the most magnificent expressions of solidarity and care. Millions of South Africans were fed by those who could afford to share. Millions have been masked by those who were able to contribute, and many thousands of frontline health workers were supported with protective equipment. It is our wish that this Ubuntu should continue for as long as it is required, but it should also make us work even harder for a more just and equal society. This Eid, we also share our concern at the looming crisis in Palestine, where Trump's deal is being pursued with immense vigor. Our voice against this must be heard during and beyond Eid by all progressives in South Africa and across the world. May this Eid be a truly joyous, blessed, and peaceful one. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us, and what an inspirational message, and you couldn't have said it better. The Ubuntu has definitely come out as we spoke about it before. Nishan, thank you so much. We wish you a lovely day going forward, and thank you so much for that beautiful message.
Always a pleasure. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. That was Brother Nishan Bolton from, of course, the Amit Kasrada Foundation. Definitely teaching us to, I think they've appreciated the fact that everybody's come together, created the support structure during this very difficult time. And it has definitely shown the Ubuntu with South African citizens was something I think a lot of people were not expecting to see.
Absolutely. I think for me, that was one of the silver linings of the lockdown. And also that Ahmed Kasrada Foundation acknowledging the difficult Ramadan in terms of not being able to have that spirit of togetherness and this that bonds in Ramadan in terms of breaking fast together, partaking in iftar meals together, and that's so just pleased that they've acknowledged that it was a different somber Ramadan. so to speak. And who do we have next on the line with our Eid messages?
We will have Sister Khamotso Mokwena, and she's an attorney at law and senior lecturer at the University of Johannesburg, and you can take that call.
Is she on the line?
Is Sister Khamotso on the line?
Good afternoon, Khamotso. Welcome to Salam Media.
I think they're still trying to connect up with Sister Khamotso. Just to give you a bit of insight into her, she's an attorney at law and a senior lecturer at the University of Johannesburg. But she's been joining me on my show every single Friday afternoon, actually enticing us into a better perspective to understand the rules during the lockdown as far as law is concerned. So she gave us some really valuable legal advice regarding, what sort of employer-employee legalities do you have? What can you do during this? What sort of funds you could tap into? So she had given us valuable advice, and I think that advice had helped a lot of people where they didn't have direction on where to start with the situation, on what sort of funds they could tap into to help us. And she's on the line now.
Good afternoon, Sister Khamotso. Welcome to Salam Media. Good to have you on. And today a different show, so we're not doing shop work today. So we it's a more celebratory atmosphere here in the studio. It's all done up in preparation for our Eid celebration as well. And Sister Nafeesa has been telling me that you have a special Eid message for all our Salam Media listeners.
Hi, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear anything you're saying. The line is really bad.
Okay, let me do this. Let me put you back to our producer. Let's see if we can get you on a better line, and then we can take your message.
Okay, great.
Okay, we seem to be having gremlins in the system, but yeah, because she always works her magic and things just happen. So shortly we'll have Sister Khamotso, but I see we've got quite a few Eid messages. And by the way, you know what we haven't drummed up some, so let's just do that now. Remember the Salam Media Ramadan competition finals are up shortly, where we'll be announcing the winners.
Definitely. But before that, let's see if we can get Khamotso on the line. Khamotso, are you there with us? Can you hear us now? Okay, no, she's not on the line at the moment. We will get back to her, and we were talking about the competition.
Yes, so it's final day today.
Yes,
D-Day today. Excitement all round.
It's nice for a change because, we're always on the receiving side in the sense that Salam Media is always getting help. But it's also nice for us because we're always wanting to give back.
Of course. And prizes. So let's talk about I love prizes. So let's talk about the prizes. What's up for great?
Okay, so our first prize is a 500 Rand voucher.
Cash. EFT.
Oh, cash, EFT, 500 Rand.
It's 500 Rand. Any which way you want it, you can have it. So it's 500 Rand, right, to you. And then second prize is a Muchacho's meal voucher. So looking forward to this. And this is sponsored by Muchacho's Emirencia. And so after, when restrictions, well, not after lockdown, in different stages, when it's open to go and visit and have a meal, you can then redeem the voucher. And third prize is also, it's a Labine coffee shop in Emirencia as well. And they've given us a breakfast voucher. So third position will have a breakfast voucher. So I think something to look forward to for the finalists.
And I think for our finalists, that's something they're going to look forward to because a lot of people have been so-called, and I'm going to say it in inverted commas, deprived from takeout. So who's not going to look forward to
nice sit-down meal. I think we're all waiting for, even besides look, now deliveries are available. But there's something special now and then, just to go and just have something therapeutic, just to sit down and have a nice sit-down meal somewhere. So once things ease and gets back to normal, those prizes then will be able to be redeemed.
Yeah, and it's been, I think, a difficult choice because what had happened was there were so many videos that came in, and I think the panel that chose, it was very difficult for them. I'm glad I wasn't one of them.
Me too. I think we left. I think we took the easy way out, and we left it to Sister Zakia and Brother Muhammad, and we told them, you sort it out and deal with them. So they have the unenviable task, should I say, in terms of choosing the eventual winners. But I think everybody are worthy recipients of the prizes there in the position they will get.
I mean, we have to actually commend the rest of them that have taken the effort to actually send it in and send it to us. There were some really good creative videos, but unfortunately, as we know, there's only 3 winners, and that's as far as goes. One winner and two runner-uppers, and that's where we have to stop. Unfortunately, I wish we could actually,
give everybody a prize.
Exactly, because the thing is, the amount of effort they took, and I think there was also a purpose behind that, because a lot of the people were going through difficult times. They needed to keep their minds and busy and creative in another way, and I think this is what this competition served as, is to take their minds off the issues that are happening around us with the lockdown and the negativity of the COVID-19, and get inspirational and creative with something else. And I think it worked in many directions, because with the videos I seen, I could see there was a lot of effort actually, and time, of course, taken into putting it together.
I think we all became producers in this lockdown, because I also have been producing educational videos for my little kids at early childhood development center that I run, and sending them. So we've all become actors and producers, and various skill sets we've got to develop. And I think we've also had some Eid messages from the little children. We can just find out if those are ready to play on air as well. We have, I think, Eid messages coming out. I don't know, has our lines been sorted out? Maybe let's go for a quick break while our lines are sorting out.
No, I think we sorted out.
We
need
sorted?
to get Sister Khamotso on the line.
Is she on?
I think she's on the line.
Khamotso? Khamotso, can you hear us now?
I can hear you.
Okay, good. Now we have you. So, your Eid message for Eid on Sunday, so wishing everybody, you can go ahead with your Eid message.
Yes, I first of all, thank you so much for having me, and for trusting me to give such an important message. And I think what I'd really like to say for everyone who is celebrating Eid on Sunday is that we thank you, I think, as a nation, for your prayers. I think that this is a time when we all need to rely on our faith and all need to rely on God. And we thank you so much for the sacrifices you've made as a community for really the whole world, that we know that the whole world, God listens. God listens to prayer. And we thank you so much for that sacrifice.
And I'd like to take the opportunity, Khamotso, to thank you, because you spent a lot of the Ramadan with me on Fridays, actually giving valuable advice to all our listeners regarding the lockdown and their legalities and where they stand as far as the funds and that are concerned. So I think it's imparted a lot of knowledge to them, and then it's given them some form of direction. So thank you so much for imparting that to us. We really appreciate you taking out that time and that effort from your busy day.
No problem. I enjoyed it very much.
I think so did we. I didn't think I'd enjoy legality and law so much, but you've changed my perspective in some way.
Oh, that's good.
But thank you so much. You take care and you stay safe. And thank you for the lovely Eid message. I'm sure our listeners will appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so
That
much.
was truly.
Take care. Bye-bye. That was Sister Khamotso Mokoena. Definitely an inspiration.
Warm, yeah, and a warm, heartful message, and also coming out strongly is, I think everybody has appreciated the sacrifice that I think the Islamic community had made under these circumstances. So Ramadan 2020 will go down in the annals of history as one of great sacrifice and great. So it was a restraint also in terms of our social interactions as well.
Most definitely. And although there was that restraint, I think it had opened our hearts up even more to those that were in dire need. And of course, it being Ramadan was even more perfect and apt for everything that went on around us. The support structures, the networking, everybody that I spoke to always turned around and asked, what is it that I can do to give back or help out or change something? And it was so nice to see that, because you could refer them to people, and in fact, of course, to our foundation as well, to be able to reach out further and create that added network that we needed, because as we knew, people were in such dire need.
Absolutely, I concur with everything you said in terms of everybody wanting to say, what can I do? Can I do more? Or who is in need? Let me help. And that, how the networking, it's amazing. People you didn't previously met, now you have a special connection with them because you've worked together to just improve somebody's life, or even just provide a meal with them. And continue with our Eid messages. Who do we have up next?
Okay, so I think what we're going to do is, what we decided is we're going to tap into our lady from FNF, Nasreen. You know, as you see all this deco here today, with of course most of the caterers being closed and you know, not being able to operate during this lockdown, they've enticed us to actually, you know, speaking to her on the phone and going to see her. She enticed us into using things that we have at home to actually make our eat table look good. And I think today's table can definitely give credit to FNF caterers, or should we say FNF Deco. Assalamu alaikum, Nasreen.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Jazakallah for joining us. And you know what? You've really enticed us in many directions. Talk to us about the deco that we did today and what you gave us to use. You lent us the deco, and we really appreciate it, because what we wanted to do was, of course, something that you taught me the other day was saying the caterers are closed, everybody's not there, there's nobody you can get anything from. Start getting creative with what you have.
Okay, so for the past 19 years since we've started, we've always spent this time of the year preoccupied with quality time with our clients, trying to facilitate and help them decide on how to do the e-table and, you know, add that excitement. And we're all too familiar with how our mothers and sisters and sometimes even the brothers are so excited with setting up a table, choosing a color scheme, trying to decide on centerpieces, what can they add on, you know, just to add to the blessed day of Eid and making it more excited. And in this year, because of the lockdown, we obviously haven't been able to spend that time with them because business can't be open. And we thought, you know, I'm sure our mothers and sisters still want to enjoy Eid day and have that excitement of setting up a table. And then it made us think that, you know, there's a lot of things we can use from just what we have at home. That we can use to still get that same excitement and create that same creativity on the tables. And looking at, like with our centerpieces, we don't always need to use something fancy, just whether it's taking flowers that's in your garden or maybe imitation flowers that's at home and just putting it into a different vase or a different container can already just make it look different. And other ideas are, if people are trying to it's like what you'd normally use as your food, you can now use that as deco as well. So if you'd normally put your fruit into a platter, you can now put it into skewers and put it into a vase or into mini water glasses across the table. So that can add to your deco. And this time of the year, we can bring out the creativity within our homes, especially this year, like get all the family members involved and let it be a bonding session of seeing what do we have at home, what can we use, how can we change how this looks so that we can use it on the table so that our Eid day can still be special. Because this year Ramadan, we've already lost out on spending that time in the masjid with Tarawih or being able to mingle with our other family members. So even though Eid day will be spent with just the family members at home, we can still make it special. And all this preparation time from before of trying to see what can we use at home can also be put into that. If we have a normal cake stand, we can you know, decorate it a bit with a ribbon or just put it on the table, and that can also be a centerpiece. So we don't always need to go out, and especially this year because the hiring companies are closed or financially because of the lockdown, a lot of people couldn't go to work. So we need to think on a budget-friendly table that we can use that can still add to that joy of Eid day.
And I'm loving it. I don't know about you, Mariam, but NABEELAH, we're loving this because what we have is simplistic, but it still looks so appealing. And I think everyone that looked through our studio window was like, wow, this looks so enticing. So I think you've really changed our idea of things, because a lot of people were sitting back and saying, and I don't know about you, Mariam, I also thought, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? Because there's no caterer or events company open that we can actually go and hire things from or use as such. But I think Sister NABEELAH has definitely given us a different take here.
Yes, and understated elegance is what I'm saying. I don't like that word budget. Let's just say it's understated elegance. Let's, you know, budget somehow connotations of being cheap and things like that. So we can have a budget, but we can still have elegance. We can still have class, style, pizzazz. So you know, this is so regal. It's just rich. It's 2 velvet tablecloths, and the serviettes just accentuate it.
Yeah, it
and it really, it's a wow factor, and it looks wow and it looks regal, and there ain't no budget around here from what I'm seeing.
Most definitely. NABEELAH, if people want to get hold of you, where are you based? Once, of course, the lockdown is done with and you can operate.
Hello.
Sister Nabeelah, once the lockdown is done, where can people get a hold of you?
Okay. So it's we're based in Crosby, in Nani Avenue, 86 Nani Avenue, Crosby. And in terms of contact details, 8011 837 5954. And a lot of the times, like the phone call will be busy with a lot of phones, so you can always send a WhatsApp message to 084 734 1148.
Jazakallah, Nasreen, definitely made a difference. You've enticed us, as I said, and I don't know about you, Mariam. I'm loving this table, and yet it's so simplistic yet elegant.
Absolutely, absolutely. And now I think it's time. We have drum rolls, we have bells and whistles, because I think now it's competition time.
Okay, Jazakallah for your time, Nasreen. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
And that was Sister Nasreen from F&F Deco. Take, and of course simplistic is best, as they say. We're gonna quickly add on. I have to bring you the segment. It's called it's an advert that I have to read out right now quickly before we go into our next segment. For this segment, it's brought to you by Fosme Butchery. Tantalize your taste buds this Eid with our succulently marinated deboned leg of lamb, accompanied by the ready-to-bake range of freezer-suitable breads and rolls by cookbook author Nakia Mayet. This is exclusively available in Fordsburg at Fosme Muslim Butchery, number 26 Crown Road, Fordsburg. The number is 011 836 5683. Instagram, Fosme_Butchery. This segment was brought to you by Fosme Butchery. Okay, and now we have Brother Jason on the line. And Brother Jason also has an Eid message for us. Mariam, would you like to take that call?
Yes. Good afternoon, Brother Jason, and welcome to Salam Media. Brother Jason? Let's just check with Sister Shazia. Kremlin. Okay, so we have him on the line. Good afternoon, Brother Jason, and welcome to Salam Media.
Very well, and you?
Well, thanks, and thank you for joining us on this Friday afternoon. Being we 1.5 days away from the day of Eid, hopefully, if the moon is sighted, then Sunday will be Eid, and I believe you have a message, a special Eid message for all our listeners here on Salam Media.
Well, I wouldn't say it's a special message, but I was thinking this morning, you know, we're sitting in lockdown, and there's so many things that we can't do. And I was thinking we shouldn't be angry for what we don't have, but rather we must be grateful for what you do have and what you can do. Because no matter what your circumstances, you always have a choice.
Yes, Brother Jason, it's so nice to hear from you again. And thank you for enticing us with that, because I know what you're teaching us. Today, you're telling us to actually have gratitude, which is one of the most important things. And we are grateful to the Almighty for what we have thus far and for being able to reach out to those that were in dire need during this period. And I think it's taught us a lot. So thank you so much for that message. And you have a lovely weekend.
Thank you, you too. And have a wonderful Eid on Sunday.
Thank you so much. You take care. Goodbye.
Right.
That was Brother Jason Demetrios. He was on my... He actually got his degree, I think it was at the age of 59, almost 60. I found that very inspirational, you know, to think that somebody that age can actually, you know, go into that advice and sit and teach you how to actually time manage to be able to study and what sort of dedication you need, and you would know that. But now we don't have much time left. It's already almost 10 to 4. Can we talk about our competition?
Yes. So as you mentioned earlier, we received many entrants, and it was a difficult decision. What you said, it was the effort. So first of all, we like to acknowledge every entrant that participated in the competition. Thank you for making Ramadan interesting, Ramadan 2020. And it was all those messages and the videos and the meanings behind the videos and kept us entertained as well as informed. And like you said, with all competitions, they have to be winners. So these are audited. Yeah, I'm holding it here.
I'm waiting for Sister Zakia. She has to come and do this with us.
So we're going to call her in now and she'll do the honors. And while she's making her way through, let's just let's just remind all our listeners. So the prizes again. So the first prize is a 500 Rand cash, EFT or voucher, whatever you want to call it, but it's 500 Rand cash or 5 clips, as they say. Then second prize is meal voucher, and that is generously sponsored by Muchachos in Amarentia. And then the third prize is also a meal voucher at Labine Coffee Shop, also in Amarentia. So lovely prizes to look forward to, and the vouchers can be redeemed once sit-down meals. Once you're able to sit down and have a meal. So, Sister Zakia, quick, how are you, my darling? Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for joining us.
This food here is, I don't know how you people done it, but it's driving me crazy.
It's so delectable.
An hour left. Hour and a half. Hour and a bit. Okay, so tell us about the competition quickly, and then let's announce winners.
Okay, so as you all know, we've been announcing weekly winners, and today we're going to announce our finalists, actually our 3 winners, first, second, and third. And I don't know who wants to do the honors.
We'll leave it to you.
But 1 second, we need, you were awesome foursome, so we need one
Yes,
more person inside. Yeah,
I think
he's saying
Brother
no.
Mohammed,
Brother
we need
Mohammed.
you in studio as well.
We need the because it was truly an awesome foursome effort.
Most
4
definitely.
weeks ago, we sat here on a Friday afternoon in this very studio, brainstorming the whole Naseeha and motivation program, and we come full circle because we're all back here 4 weeks later. So, 5 weeks later now, because we did it before the commencement of Ramadan. Let's just make some space for you as well. So let's do this. Let's
the chair.
As well. So,
thank you.
Assalamu alaikum, Brother Mohammed.
Wa alaikum salam. Thank you for having me in the studio, or forcing me to come in.
Well, as she said, we're the awesome foursome.
Remember that you never have said no.
I didn't want to risk it, that's why I just walked in.
Okay, so talk to us about the competition. I think everybody's avidly anxious and waiting to hear the results.
Yeah, so you guys can do the honor, please. I insist. But we finally have, we have reached the end of our Salam Media Ramadan competition. As I said, it's been running for 3 weeks, and we have 3 finalists. And today we are going to actually phone them, speak to them on air, and tell them their respective positions.
Okay, so Sister Zakia, you and Brother Mohammed, we're going to give you the honors to do this particular segment.
Okay, let's start with the first winner. So the first winner, she was a finalist for I think the second week, and her name is Sumaya Khan. So well done to you, Sumaya. You actually managed to get to win the cash prize, and yeah.
Nafeesa, I think you should do the impromptu drum roll.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
It's not gonna work.
I think
those little whistles that the kids use, that's what we need, and lots of confettis and pop-pops.
Yes.
It's like create the vibe.
Sister Sumaya Khan, you are the winner of the Salam Media Ramadan 2020 competition. Mashallah, well done. Woo, congratulations. And do we have Sister Sumaya on the line?
No, Sister Sumaya is not on the line. Unfortunately, we're running out of time, but we will definitely get in touch with you after our show. We will definitely chat to you. Who's our second position?
Okay, so the second position goes to Mariam Jamal. She is our very first finalist for the competition. And her video was so creative, and it was one of the best videos we received on our WhatsApp line. And she's a youngster, and I remember you were chatting to her during our first week of competition, and she did an amazing job, at that young age to come on air. And yes, 9 years old, absolutely.
And our third position?
Our third position goes to the adorable 3-year-old Taskin Ayub.
Oh, she was absolutely adorable. To see a 3-year-old actually do a talk and a nasheed together, I think I found that so phenomenally amazing. I mean, to be able to do both was just something for me to see. So, congratulations to all our winners out there. We're definitely going to get in touch with you after the show at some point. So, we say congratulations. Thank you so much for taking that effort and that extra time to be creative and, of course, take your minds off all that lockdown issues. This has definitely brought out the creativity in people, and I think it's amazing.
Absolutely. And mashallah, congratulations to everybody that entered the competition. We really enjoyed putting the competition together, receiving all the entrants, and it was much fun. And we say Fi Amanillah, it's been an amazing journey, afternoon journey, and I think I couldn't have had better company to spend
Most
my Ramadan
definitely.
afternoons with.
And I want to say, I think we're the awesome foursome, as she says, and I want to thank you guys for going that extra mile, and especially you, Miriam. We all made such a great team. That sync was there, and I want to thank you guys. I mean, the show would never have been possible without all of us as a team, and of course, the rest of the Salam Media team out there. To all our behind the scenes, we waving and saying, "Whoa, you guys did a splendid job keeping us on air and keeping, of course, our listeners enticed." But before we go, I'm going to quickly read you out of closing monologue because I think this is very apt for us to get out from here. And it says, "Dare to be. When a new day begins, dare to smile gratefully. When there's darkness, dare to be the first to shine a light. When there's injustice, dare to be the first to condemn it. When something seems difficult, dare to do it anyway. When life seems to beat you down, dare to fight back. When there seems to be no hope, dare to find some. When you're feeling tired, dare to keep going. When times are tough, dare to be tougher. When love hurts you, dare to love again. When someone is hurting, dare to help them heal. When another is lost, dare to help them find the way. When a friend falls, dare to be the first to extend a hand. When you cross paths with another, dare to make them smile. When you feel great, dare to help someone else feel great too. When the day has ended, dare to feel as if you've done your best. Dare to be the best you can at all times. Just dare to be. And this was written by Steve Maraboli. And I want to thank you all for daring me to be the best that I can be. And I think we've all enticed each other for that. So from myself and the team, what all do we have to say before we go away? Eid Mubarak! Have a lovely day. Assalamu alaikum. We love all our listeners.
جيل فجيل آمالنا نهرا تسيل عذبا كماء السلسبيل ومذكرات في الحياة منها ارتوى جيل فجيل بالعزم هيا نمضي سويا نسمو ونرقى فوق الثريا لا تقل لوحدي أو كيف السبيل أنت بالتحدي تصنع المستحيل لا تقل لوحدي أو كيف السبيل أنت بالتحدي تصنع المستحيل